tell everyone about your business and what you do, because you know what I think is really, really interesting about you, Hazel. Many things are interesting, but one of the things that is really cool is that obviously I work with a lot of coaches, and you're not a coach. There are lots of non-coaches in Thrive and in coach space, but tell everyone what it is you do, and there's a clue right behind you.
There is. This is my very naughty, he did used to be very naughty, he isn't very naughty anymore, Jack Russell, he's called Jack. And you're right, I'm not a coach. I would say I'm a dog behaviour specialist or a dog behaviour consultant. And I work with all the naughty dogs, all the ones that have been kicked out of classes, the ones that have bitten people, the ones that people have said, your dog's untrainable. Those are the dogs that I work with, all different breeds, all different shapes, sizes, ages. That's what I do.
The challenging ones, the ones that people are tearing their hair out.
Exactly, the ones like I was once upon a time, just, you know, absolutely at the end of my tether. So yeah, a lot of my clients, you know, I have some tearful conversations with some of my clients, and clients who are, you know, perhaps considering rehoming their dogs and that kind of thing. And we come up with a plan together and help them move forwards and make the right decisions for them. And if they decide to keep their dogs, then we put the training in place to make their life one heck of a lot easier.
That sounds amazing. Like, what an amazing niche. And like, thankfully, so I've got Baxter here on the chair right next to me. He's in my office all the time. You can sometimes hear him snoring. Thankfully, he's not a naughty dog, but
no, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, you've met him because you were here in France 2 weeks ago.
I did meet him. Yeah, I used to give him a little biscuit every morning, a sneaky little biscuit every morning.
Oh, fantastic. Well, so let's dive into what you have used and what you have achieved inside Thrive since you joined 6 months ago, because I said this with Natalie and with Pam earlier on, it's like, this is all about taking action, and that's what you're brilliant at. And should we just talk about the last virtual retreat first of all in February? Because
yeah, sure.
Because this was the start of it for you, really.
It was, yeah. I just found the virtual retreat mind-blowing, actually. And I hadn't even been sure that it was for me because I'm not a coach. But there was one thing that I did. I mean, I did a few things off the back of that, but one thing that I did that made a huge difference at that time, within that week that I actually did it during the Chateau retreat, was to create a framework, or I created multiple frameworks actually for different parts of my business, just as you'd kind of explained it. And I was just sharing them on social media and talking about them. And that week I had something like 4 new clients, which was more than double the client base that I originally had. So I was really chuffed with that. And in those days, I wasn't charging very much money for my services. So I can't say that that immediately brought back my the money that I'd invested in Thrive later. But it did in a way, because, you know, now I charge much more than that. So without having that knowledge about the frameworks and getting those new customers, and then that kind of just started the ball rolling. And then because of that I thought, this woman knows what she's talking about. I've got to join Thrive.
If I can get 4 new clients off the back of a free event, imagine what it would be like for 12 months.
It's incredible. It was incredible.
And I am so glad that you stepped into Thrive. I remember those conversations because you were like, oh, is it for me? Like, yeah, can I do this? Like, and I was like, absolutely, come on in. And if you're watching this, by the way, and you're not a coach, that's totally okay. Like, I don't just work with coaches, but obviously coaches form a massive part of like this industry that we're in. And we've got lots of non-coaches in Thrive. I mean, there's Charlotte, she's an architect, lots and lots of different types of service providers, but the majority are coaches. So Hazel, you jumped in and you show up to the calls, you ask the questions, you go away, you do stuff, and then you post it in the group and you ask the question in the group. And honestly, this is like how we create success in our business, in our businesses, by like asking the questions, finding out the gaps in our knowledge. We don't know what we don't know, so we have to find out what the answers are. Well, we have to find out what the thing is that we don't even know what we're supposed to be doing anyway, but then we find out what the answer is to the gap we've exposed, and we take the action. And that's what you just consistently and diligently do. And you're a massive part of the Thrive community as well, which is just wonderful. You always support other people. You always comment on people's posts. And I just think that's amazing. So let's talk about the other things that in Thrive that you've implemented and how I've supported you in your business so far in Thrive. Like, what are the things that you've done?
Okay, so apart from the frameworks, obviously, one of the earlier things I also did was to download your sales, what's it called? I've got it right, sales script. The sales script, which is it's just kind of a script to help you go through what you might say to clients in order to sell a product without it feeling uncomfortable. Because what I was doing, and I guess probably what other people do too at the beginning, was to at the end of a discovery call or a conversation, I would just direct people to my website and say, all the information's on the website, because I didn't want to talk about the cost. And, but actually I followed that sales script, and I run a behaviour clinic, a dog behaviour clinic online, and it's the last Sunday of every month, and it's free. It's a free clinic, but people register, they turn up, we talk about their dog, I give them some strategies that they can use there and then I explain to them how I can help them in the longer term. And so you have to sell that. You can't just say, go away and look at it on the webpage. And so I would follow not all of that conversation on your sales script, but like the really tricky bit at the end. And actually, I found that worked. And the vast majority of people that come to my dog behaviour clinic now convert. And it doesn't feel uncomfortable when I explain to them, because I always explain to them, that it's an investment that they're making, and this is how we're going to work together and to make your life better, So that was one of the things that I did that I can say honestly brought me new clients, or, at least converted clients that might have been on the fence. So that was really good.
That's so cool. And you're right, a lot of people do, especially if they're quite new to business, like that transition from, okay, I'm going to help you. Okay, now I've got to sell the thing. That's really uncomfortable and clunky for people. I said on the Thrive call last night, we have to be able to sell our services. Like, a business that has no paying clients is not a business, it's a hobby. And one of the best skills that we can develop is the confidence and the ability to sell well. But don't even think about it as selling. It's like, it's connecting, it's communicating, it's influencing, it's all those kind of words that are positive words. A lot of people don't like the whole sales thing, and it doesn't have to feel awful. And you've just demonstrated that.
Yeah, it was just literally explaining to them what the next thing is. And to not be afraid of that, because what I was doing originally at the point where I was just sending them to the website, they that was the end of it, and they were never coming back to me. And even if I kind of went back to them at a later stage to see if they were interested, it still all felt really tricky to navigate. And when you just bring it in and you ask them, is it okay if we just spend a couple of minutes talking about what the investment is and how I can support you? And they always say yes. No, but I've never had anybody yet say, well, no, thank you.
I love that. And that's just one thing. I mean, what the inside of the Thrive dashboard is like. I mean,
oh my goodness,
one thing out of hundreds of things that you can pull out and use just that one thing to get new clients. It's so powerful.
So true. Yeah. So now I'm hoping that I'm currently creating a sales page for my new program, and I found you've got a resource in Thrive for that as well, how to build a great sales page. So I dug that out and was like, right, okay, what do I need to do? So I wrote all the copy, and then I was looking at how you've got little arrows on there with pointers saying, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do the other. And I've literally just gone through it all and thought, right, what am I going to, so instead of using those words that Karen's used, what am I going to say? What can I say there instead? And I've literally just built it out, and it took me to just type up everything that I wanted to say in place of what you've said on yours. It took me a day, but now to get it on the website and make it all look pretty and all the rest of it, it's taken me the best part of the week, I have to be honest. But at least it's like, it gives you that skeleton, it gives you the structure, and you know that this is a good converting template that you can follow, and just plug your own stuff in there. And so I'm hoping that that's going to bring me some new clients. But I think also the other thing that that's done as well is to make me think much more about my actual web page and how that's orchestrated. And I think that could probably be improved as well along those same lines. So what I'm going to do is use the same kind of template for the main page as well. So that just, it's a process, isn't it? Like drawing people through the process and making them go where you want them to go, or encouraging them, should we say, to go where you want them to go.
Yeah.
So that's been really useful as well, because, is it, when you don't know, like you say, well, you don't know what you don't know, and it's all a bit hit and miss, and you just cobble something together and hope that people are gonna buy from it, So it's good to have templates and things that we can have a look at and see and say, oh, well, okay, I can use that. And,
Absolutely. It's all designed to make your life easier so that you can go, oh, okay, I don't have to spend months figuring this out on my own. I can just go and do this in a couple of hours or in a day and get this set up. Because we have to run our businesses seriously. Like, this isn't a game. This isn't a school project. Like the majority of people I work with need to make money in their business. And there's certain things that you have to do in order to make that possible. And I think this is true. A lot of people start up a business, and certainly it's true with people coming through coach training. They get their qualifications and then maybe don't appreciate what is involved in actually getting customers. And there's a lot of stuff that actually has to happen, that has to fall into place to make that possible. So I love the fact that you're like, right, okay, I've upped my prices, I've created my sales page, I'm now looking at my website, I've got paying customers here, I've done this, and it's like all of these like micrometer shifts or small adjustments that you're making in your business, like the sum of the improvement that you're seeing is huge. One of the other things.
Sorry,
go on.
I was just going to say, I think it makes a difference to how you feel inside as well, like to your mind, not only your mindset, but like your momentum, because you know that you've got this, and this to do, and you've got the resources to help you do it. So all you need to do is diarise it and then say, right, well, today we're working on this. Like the other day, I created a whole welcome booklet, like it's a 9 or 10 page welcome booklet based on another template from Thrive. And I literally just did it all in Canva in very little time at all. And then that's another thing that I can tick off. So, okay, so in my funnel, I've now got, I've got my sales page, I've got my welcome pack done, I've got to do my thank you page, and I can just go and it's done. I know where I'm going and I know what I've got to do, and I can just tick them off as I go. And like you say, the fact that those resources are there really helps you to save time and, wondering, oh, well, what should I do and how do I do it and how do I put it all together? It's just so much easier.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. We also worked on your lead magnet as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Your lead magnet's great. And what we did on the calls is have a look at that. And I open up the link and go through it and test it and tweak it and change some of the words around and make them more impactful. Again, all of these optimizations that really we have to make in our business to maximize the number of downloads we get or the number of inquiries we get coming through. I guess the question I want to ask you is, what do you think about the live calls? So when you think about coming to the live calls, what are your thoughts on those?
I love the live calls. I always spend the week thinking, right, what's the expensive question that I can ask the client this week?
Absolutely. I love the live calls. I think that's definitely where the Thrive investment lies.
Definitely. Because if, is fine. Yeah, all the stuff is on the dashboard and I use that a lot. But coming to the calls, if you're coming along things during the week, you come across things and you think, I'm not really quite sure about that, then you know that you can come to the live call, you can ask you, and I'm actually going to get an answer there and then. I don't have to, send an email and wait for a reply. I don't have to Google it and hope that the right thing turns up. I know if I'm coming to you with a question that you're going to have the answer to it, and it's just brilliant. But obviously, try and pick my questions carefully, because some things you can just find out fairly easily on the internet. And, that's not why I'm in Thrive. I'm here to find out the stuff that I wouldn't easily be able to find anywhere else. And so I know that, if I ask you, you're gonna help me with it. And what we did with those, with the nurture sequence for the lead magnets was just brilliant, because you created that whole Loom video for me to talk me through what I needed to change, what I needed to do. It's too much to cover in one Thrive call, isn't it? But the Loom video was great, and I implemented all those things, and I rerun the Facebook ads using the same lead magnet with the tweaks and everything. And I've just got, I've just doubled my email list. It's just like that. It's just brilliant.
That is fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. There's so much in the dashboard as well. There's like email sequences, template email sequences. Yeah. There's everything that you need to attract, nurture, convert clients. There's all sorts of stuff on the offers you can create. There's a whole load of stuff on mindset, isn't there? There's guest expert sessions. All of our Thrive calls are searchable. So even if you join Thrive now, you have access to all of the previous call recordings and a search bar at the top. I don't know if you've seen that. It's new in the dashboard. You can type in, like, if you want to type in audience, or if you want to type in niche, or if you want to type in sales strategy, just type it in, and all of the hits on all of the previous calls come up. So you've just got so much information at your fingertips.
That's brilliant. I think the other thing to say about, all of Thrive, actually, whether it's the live calls or the community or whatever it is, and in terms of asking questions, is to, sometimes I've kind of thought to myself, I really want to ask this question, but I feel like I'm putting myself out there and feeling a bit vulnerable if I ask this question, because this is my business, and what are people going to think of me if I ask this question, whatever. And I mean, the question is never anything untoward, but it's just that you are vulnerable because you don't know the answers. And I do have clients, actually, that's another thing. I do have clients that came directly from Thrive. Brilliant. And so I'm a bit concerned sometimes about asking questions about things that I don't know, because I'm going to be thinking, but they're my clients and they're going to think I should know that. But that's like a real mindset thing, because then I have to say to myself, okay, so some of your clients are here in Thrive as well. But if you don't ask this question, you're not going to move forwards. So you've got to ask the question, whether it's on a live or whether it's in the community. And I think that takes a bit of getting over, you have to get over that hurdle. But that's what Thrive's here for, is to help you ask the questions that you need to ask to get the information that you need so that you can move your business forward. Because otherwise, if you don't, and you just, worry about, I can't ask that question because people are watching, people are reading, people are listening to it, then, you're not going to progress, are you? So
exactly.
But I just see it all as you, Karen. It's just like, it's an experiment. Oh, it's just an experiment. Just do it and try it and see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Oh my God, look, I've just got 25 new clients.
Yeah.
Go back to the community. The point you made is really great. One of the things that's wonderful about Thrive is that everyone's just amazing. Everyone, they're all really, really nice people. Yeah. There's no one in Thrive who is not an incredibly supportive, wonderful person. And it's a safe space, it's a non-judgmental space, and it's a space where there is so much community support. I'm a big advocate of connection, collaboration. We've got a new members directory that we're just rolling out. I massively encourage people to connect and collaborate. People have been guest expert speakers in other people's groups and communities, podcast interviews, the works. And the bit that you've just said, Hazel, about you've got clients out of Thrive, that's brilliant. I didn't know that. And that's amazing. That's another, that's another massive benefit of getting into a community where you might end up doing business with each other as well. There are so many ways for you to make your money back in Thrive. It's ridiculous. And actually did you see we're doing a 2K challenge in November, because anyone who's new in Thrive, but of course anyone who is not new in Thrive, what we want to do is get it so that you make your Thrive investment back really, really quickly. So all of the time that's left on the 12-month plan or the 6-month plan, if you come in with a payment plan, it's all pure profit. I mean, imagine how amazing that would be for someone to join Thrive, make their money back straight away. And it's just like, wow, this is what we want to help you to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I definitely would have done that had I, you know, even after the after the virtual retreat, had I just increased my prices straight away. But the price increase for me didn't come until we'd had a conversation about I'd wanted to reduce the number of one-to-ones and create kind of a bit of a group thing going on. And so I doubled my prices and actually found that I actually got more one-to-one clients when I doubled my prices.
Did I say that?
I know. Yeah. So it's just, honestly, it's just the things that you learn. It's those little things, isn't it? It's like the other day I was having I don't even know how this conversation arose, but I think it was you and it started with, Karen, you and your social media tree, you know, the tree that you draw all the elements of social media. And I was very much like Facebook, that's all I'm doing. I can't concentrate on anything else, can't do all the things. Facebook's enough. And my husband kept saying to me, Hazel, I'm sure you need to do like Instagram. And then obviously working with all you guys on Thrive, most people are on Instagram. And you kept saying, you've got to, you know, there's other branches on this tree, just try it. So eventually I kind of gave in and said, oh, okay, I'll have a go at Instagram, but I don't know what I'm doing. And it's really confusing. And I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I don't understand tech, and tech's not my friend and all this. And then Sonia Rose just said to me, oh, would you like it if I hopped on a call with you and showed you how to do like the really nitty gritty basic, how to get your first reel, how to do a reel on Instagram? I was like, oh yes, please. Yeah. And then, so I did these reels and they were kind of doing okay. I tried to do one a day for a week. And there was one that I posted of me and the dog and hubby on the beach. And we got caught out by a big wave that just washed over us. And I had flip-flops on and my flip-flop came off and it was floating away in the sea. And I was screaming and the dog was like thrashing about. It was so funny. And that reel got over, it got over 10,600 views.
Amazing.
I was like, that was like the first week I'd even posted reels on Instagram. But it was because I just kind of asked a question like, how on earth do I do reels? I don't understand how to do this. And one of the members of the community just said, hey, I'll jump on a call with you and I'll show you how to do it. And
this is just our community. Amazing.
That just is how it is, isn't it?
Oh, big high five to Sonia as well. Sonia, thank you for doing that. And this is exactly like what I was saying about everyone just being incredibly supportive, really, really lovely people. Mm-hmm. And you're right, like we do, social media just come up because it's a great way to reach people. It's a great way to connect with people, whether that's LinkedIn, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Instagram, whether that's TikTok or Pinterest or YouTube, whether it's offline, we do some offline stuff as well, or online. Like there are so many ways to drive traffic to your business, and all of that is covered inside Thrive. So yeah, Hazel, I've loved this chat. Thank you.
Me too. It's been nice to
amazing. You've done so many amazing things in such a short space of time as well. I feel like there's like so much traction and momentum for you in your business, especially because you came on the retreat 2 weeks ago as well, and it came back buzzing after that as well, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that was incredible.
That's
and meeting, you know, other Thrivers on that retreat, and you know, they've just become lifelong friends now. It was incredible, and the learning, you know, whether it was learning about our businesses or ourselves, doing all the, you know, the internal work that we did while we were there with Iona as well was brilliant. So it was fantastic, absolutely. And I just think this is such a nice space to be. It's so positive, and everybody wants everybody to succeed. And there's kind of no competition, even though there's so many coaches, and there are quite a few coaches doing similar things, but there's kind of no competition, is there? And there's no egos, and there's none of that kind of stuff. It's just so lovely. It's a lovely place to hang out.
Thank you. And it's because of all of you. Absolutely. Thank you. Just before we finish off, do you want to share where people can connect with you? Maybe it's Instagram. What's the best place for people to come and find you and connect with you? If you're watching this, come and find Hazel maybe on Instagram, and come and follow her. Come and look for that reel that had 10,600 views, and let's get that up to 11,600 views.
That would be great.
What is your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is Caniami, which is a bit unfortunate for English speakers because it's tricky to spell, but it's Caniamis. Caniami. And you can find me with the same handle, but with FR on the end of it, on Facebook.
Fantastic. And Megan, if you're watching this, is probably popping it in the chat as we speak. Click on the link, come and follow Hazel, and let's just create this big connection cycle of awesomeness, because like collaboration wins the day every day of the week. So amazing. Thank you very, very much, Hazel. Great to chat to you. It's
been great. Yeah.
If you're watching this, I hope that this has been really inspiring for you. It absolutely will have been, because like Hazel's just demonstrated how she can pick up these Thrive resources, take action, do something fairly quickly, and create a result straight off the back of that. And you can do that too. Okay, thanks, Hazel. I shall catch you a little bit later. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye.